Hello, Aquarius. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Sophie with Lady of the Unknown Oracle. This is going to be your April 2019 reading, all right? If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here with us. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your love and support. I appreciate it so much. I'm so happy to be here to provide you with the clarity and guidance that you seek moving forward. And for those of you who are new, I hope to be able to achieve the same for you as well. All right, this is a general reading, okay, so it may not reflect your current situation, but I do recommend revisiting the reading at the end of the month, just in case your situation changes. If this message today does not resonate with you, check out last month's reading, all right? And if last month's reading kind of touches on what you're going through, but not completely, I would say, I would even venture to say, just check out the reading before that, so 2 readings back, because what I'm realizing is these readings that I do kind of project a couple months ahead, depending on how quickly you're able to overcome the blocks that lie in front of you, if that makes sense. So if this reading does not resonate, this could be what will resonate in the next month or 2. All right, so it is general, so it's not limited to just love or finance. It could cover all of it, right? Today's, if I can speak, today's reading will cover, it'll be applicable to anything that is currently taking up space in your mind or in your heart. All right, so that could be love, it could be finances, it could be work relationships, how you feel about your career, how you feel about yourself, personal transformation and growth. All right, so anything, literally anything. Where I find explicit groupings, I will call them out. That is why my readings tend to be quite long, because I am trying my best to pick out all the different scenarios I see for those of you who are here for a plethora of your own reasons. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just get right into this. While I was pre-shuffling, I got the Sun card with the 10 of Swords. So some of you could either be moving forward with an air sign that has recently gone through some very painful endings, and you guys are going to be, you guys so far feel very, very happy together. You guys are each other's healing, right? Or you are currently in the middle of a very, very hurtful, just a very painful ending with a Leo. Okay, that's so far in the pre-shuffle, that's all I got. And the 3 of Wands came out. So whatever this is, if this is between you and another person, you guys could be in separation, and that could be what's bothering you. It could be that this person had to go abroad and they ended things with you. For those of you where this is love. For those of you who are dealing with other people, it's just, endings. Endings, currently in separation or about to be in separation. Or you're just really biding your time. You want to be happy and you know certain things need to be released, but for the moment, you're just kind of watching and waiting to see if anything progresses, right? The Sun is about growth and progress. So it could be that you're kind of divided, right? It could be that you're kind of divided and you're just conflicted. You're not sure where to take this. All you know is that you just kind of want to wait to see if anything does get better, right? Okay, one more. Okay. We will flip that bad boy over in just a second. Let's see. 10 of Cups, beautiful. Overarching energy, 3 of Swords. Yeah, so there's some pain here. Knight of Pentacles is that progress we were just talking about. Okay, so if you're dealing with an earth sign, it could be that this person was your happily ever after. Okay, and something has happened here where there's some type of betrayal, some type of really difficult situation that you guys are currently in the midst of. It could also just be that this Knight of Pentacles is in his own or in her own evolution, if that makes sense, because this person could be the one with the broken heart. So it's not to say that you instigated this broken heart. It could be that this person is really trying to move past this broken heart in order to have their 10 of Cups, which I feel like would be with you in that scenario. Okay, where we are dealing with someone who has a broken heart or facing immense disappointment in not having something in a past situation, they could be looking at something plentiful and fulfilling with you. Otherwise, this is an earth sign that you have just come out of a very difficult situation with, after believing for quite some time you guys were on your way to creating something more stable. Okay, so here we've got the King of Pentacles, exactly. So this could be the evolved Knight of Pentacles, but overall, this is your current position. All right, so we'll see who this is or what this means to you in your current position when we clarify. What's making this a little bit difficult, becoming the King of Pentacles, is the Four of Pentacles. On your mind is the Ace of Swords. That's beautiful. Yes, absolutely. In your heart here is the Two of Cups. In the recent past, you had the Nine of Swords. Coming in, you've got the Six of Wands. You see yourself as Judgment. In your environment, you've got the Hierophant. Okay. And yes, so right. In your fears, you have the Eight of Swords. And in the potential outcome, you've got the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so it could be you, Aquarius, that was here with the broken heart, especially with the past energy being the Nine of Swords. Something has really gotten under your skin in the recent past, and that's what has made you really want to come into this stance of stability. Because in your mind, on your mind, you've got the desire to communicate. You know, you've got either the desire to communicate, or you just have clarity of thought now. It's almost like maybe in the past you were led very, very, very heavily by your emotions, right? With the Ten of Cups having come out, there might have been a desire to sacrifice a lot that you shouldn't have. Maybe the person wasn't right for you, and you went and invested a lot of your time and energy into someone that you had a feeling wasn't right, but you invested anyway because you kind of had your fingers crossed. You're like hoping, right? Really making a wish on it. And in your heart, you know, in your heart space, you've got the Two of Cups. So without a doubt, if the pain is yours, then when I clarify this Two of Cups, it's going to, you know, you're going to have some more pain here, if that is the case for you. But I see you becoming very victorious coming in, all right? With the Six of Wands, the Six of Wands is one of those cards that no matter what other cards touch it, it's too powerful. The Six of Wands speaks to a promotion, right? It's something that someone can't take away. So no matter what kind of negative indicators there are at that point with the Six of Wands, this victory is something no one can take away from you, even if the moment of victory is followed by, you know, a sudden period of darkness. It just doesn't matter. The Six of Wands, to me as a reader, is just too powerful. Okay, very little can actually change the actual nature of that victory. Then you've got Judgment flying out. So this could be a reconciliation of some kind, but so far I can't say that with absolute certainty. All right, all this is telling me is that a very big decision was made, especially with there having been an ending. You know, a very big decision was made, or a very big decision must be made as a result of getting out of this hurtful, heartbreaking situation, or at least to move past a past situation that has hurt you, that is getting in the way now of you moving forward into a much more stable situation with another person. All right, we're going to go ahead and just start with this. Okay, so Aquarius, wow. This King of Pentacles, okay, outside of him possibly being an earth sign, right? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This person is a very stable individual, a mature person. Doesn't have to be older, but just someone who kind of knew what they were doing from the get-go, which makes sense for most earth signs. But again, does not have to be earth. Could just be someone who was, you know, really able to nurture the opportunities that came their way early on. So this person's very stable. Could be any age, sorry. With the Two of Cups, this is somebody who, I mean, this could be someone that you're already coupled with. The Two of Cups is a reciprocating relationship. So this isn't the Ace of Cups where you guys are in love and this person has love for you. This is someone who, if you guys are not together, right? Remember the three of Wands did come out. If you guys are not together, this person would like to be together. This person would really like to be coupled with you. Now, if this is not love and you are this earth sign, or you have, you have earth in your chart, rising, moon, a significant aspect of your chart that's being affected by what's happening astrologically right now. I'm not too informed enough, to really be able to provide you the details on that, but if that's something that you follow, perhaps you'll notice that there's an earth placement that you have that's being heavily affected right now, and that is going to possibly affect your relationships, romantic or otherwise. Two of Cups doesn't have to be love related in terms of romance. It can be friendships as well. Just any type of partnership that there's a give and take. And there is resonance here in the reading for give and take, because your outcome here is the Six of Pentacles, which talks about equal distribution. And there possibly being an absence of that. Okay, so for those of you where this is not romantic and this is you as the single person, this is you just learning how to connect with other people again, you learning how to give, how to achieve your half of the relationship, or learning how to expect the other half of what other people are providing in the relationship as well. The King of Pentacles makes smart investments. He makes wise investments, investments that are going to pay him back. So with the Two of Cups, you're learning how to expect people to hold up their end of the bargain, right? You're not expecting, a situation like in the past where you gave too much and received back very little, breadcrumbs, right? No, you're going back and you're saying, in order for me to have true stability, I need to get right with these connections, because these people take a lot of energy out of me, and maybe I'm not voicing my opinion enough. And that's, maybe it's innocent and they just don't know because, I don't really speak up. Or maybe they do know and I just need to put my foot down and say, look, if this is how you're going to be with me, then we just don't have a connection, period. Like, I'm not playing games. Like, I'm moving forward with or without you. This is who I am. This is what I'm doing. You're either in or you're out. Right? Kind of like that. You know what you want, especially because on your mind you've got the Ace of Swords. But here with the Four of Pentacles, okay, what's making this stability, what's making a stable connection, what's making a stable partnership, whatever is making a connection with other people or another person a little bit challenging, is the fact that someone here isn't letting go. It could be that someone is blocking a possible conversation. The Eight of Wands, again, is also travel. So it could be that someone is holding on to whatever this opportunity to travel is, right? They're blocking communication, possibly, but they're definitely holding fast. They're holding fast to this movement forward. And I feel like, especially with this being success, the King of Pentacles is very success. I'm getting that there's an energy here of this being part of their lifestyle. All right, this person is very stable, but they're very on the go, and it could be that they're not really willing to stop to make this connection work. And I'm getting that very, very strongly, okay? It could also be that they're trying to make it work, right? With the Four of Pentacles, they're trying really hard to make this Eight of Wands, right, the communication work. But they're trying so hard because they know it's really all they have. The communication is all they have. They want to be coupled with you, and in order to really foster that connection, all they really can offer you right now is communication. They can't really offer you much in way of like physical closeness because they're really busy doing their own thing right now. And that applies for those of you who are in romantic or non-romantic situations, right? There's somebody here who wants to have a strong give and take, creative, honest, open connection with you. But it looks like they are they're a little bit in too deep with a personal project, or in too deep with something that they're working hard on for themselves, right? For their own stability, where, it's blocking the possibility of forward movement because there's too much either at stake. There's either too much at stake or there's just too many demands on their time right now. But definitely, Aquarius, don't kid yourself. This person feels very strongly for you because this connection is very much in their heart space. Okay, on their mind is the Ace of Swords, so they want to communicate. And with the Knight of Wands, the communication is even kind of fickle, guys, right? They want to have communication, and communication could be all that they have. But, they're on for a week and then they're off for a week, right? So you'll get text messages from them every day saying good morning every single day for 5 days. And then 3 days after that, you're just like, did you fall off the face of the earth? Like, they just stop messaging you back, or they stop taking your calls, and it suddenly goes from, hey, I'm making so much time for you, I'm doing my best, to listen, I need to take these calls. Like, I've been pushing too many calls aside, and I have a meeting today, and I really can't have these conversations with you right now. I'm sorry. Kind of like that, when they're on, but that man, when they're gone, they're gone. And it's just, it's really frustrating. It could be also, even though the Knight of Wands is very in and out, being complemented here with the Ace of Swords, what's on your mind is kind of wanting to cut that out, right? When I see the Ace of Swords, I imagine the sword that Justice is holding, the very decisive choice to eliminate something that is very burdensome. So what's on your mind could be wanting to talk about this fickle energy, wanting to talk about, yeah, communication is all we have, and if that's the case, we need to get better at it, right? Could be a fire sign as well. Aries, Leo, Sag. We did have the Sun card come out, so very strong Leo. And Temperance, I believe, was in one of the cuts when I was shuffling the deck. So we have strong Sagittarius too. With the Two of Cups being in your heart space, Sagittarius, that's with that. The thing that kind of bothers me a little bit about this combination this time, this is not always how I feel about this combo, but with the Two of Cups, you get that very strong, beautiful, sweet, reciprocating energy. And with Temperance, you do have healing, right? You have this trying to fight for a middle ground, but because what I'm understanding about this communication not being where it needs to be, it almost feels like to me somewhere in your heart you may have a feeling that by trying to have a discussion about improving your communication with this person, or just the communication between you guys, you might be forcing something, because Temperance is all about alchemy. It's all about trying to mix the contents of these two cups that normally don't mix and making them become one thing, which is very romantic and very beautiful. But at the same time, you're feeling very anxious, or you were feeling very anxious. And your fear here with the Eight of Swords, right? There's a lot of self-limiting beliefs here. Judgment has come out twice as well, so a decision needs to be made. And not only as one of the overarching energies here, but also as how you see yourself. So just from these facts alone, all the indecision makes me feel like, above all, what we need to take out of this reading so far is that healing needs to be done. Okay? Aquarius, if there is someone that you're in a connection with, and it could be romantic, it could be work related, or it could be a friend, right? Just someone that you are having this reciprocating relationship with. What we need to take away from this so far is that if something is not working and someone has already explicitly told you that they're too busy for something, or they're too busy to have these ongoing conversations or to nurture this relationship, romantic or otherwise, you really need to take their word for it. All right? If they're too busy, it's not going to help to put pressure on it so that you can say that you're together, or to say that you guys are friends, or to say that you guys are good business partners. You guys both have a right to be where you are, right? Whether that works for you guys as a couple, whether that works for you guys as friends or not, right? You guys both have a right to be where you are in your respective individualized progress, right? In your plans, on your journeys. You have every right to be where you are, and that's okay. If this person isn't where you wish they were, it's just time now to kind of, pan the camera to something else and start working on yourself a little bit more while they finish working on themselves, because that's what it looks like they're doing here. It's not that there's a lack of desire, it's not for lack of wanting, but wanting isn't enough in these situations where stability is so crucial, right? So let's look at the recent past. In the recent past, you were feeling really anxious about something. Someone was, right? Someone was, but I feel like it was you. This is you, right? This is you with the Star card. This is you. This is healing. This is having faith. This is being on a journey, okay? With the Two Cups coming in, with the Temperance. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I just want to align this. With Temperance here as well, and with Judgment twice, I'm getting a lot of Twin Flame. And for those of you who I've done personal readings for, which if you would like one, please take a look at the description box down below. I do have the link that links you to the booking system I use for my personals. For those of you who have received personals from me, you know that I tend to hesitate a little bit with the Twin Flame verbiage, just because I am all about mind expansion and I am not about, thought limitation. Okay, so when you when you put a label on something, you immediately put it in a box where it only exists under certain rules and regulations. So anything that challenges that definition suddenly becomes just something that you have to kind of discard. Like your brain loves to discard information that isn't useful, where it doesn't match up with the definition you've already put in concrete in your mind, right? So if you think that twin flame is all about runner chaser, and you think twin flame is all about mirroring, and that the twin flame connection has to look a certain way, then what happens when something different happens? What happens if something outside of the typical twin flame journey criteria happens? You might chalk it up to, we're not meant to be together, or this is a difficulty that now means I need to cut out of this, or or even reversed, right? Oh, well, because of this, that means that I should stay in this toxic relationship, something like that. You kind of do away with critical thinking and you rely more on the definition. And so I'm gonna stop there. But if you understand what I'm saying with the twin flame, I like to call out the connections that I see, the soul connections where I see them. But in terms of what I know other people identify as like soulmate and twin flame and whatnot, I am seeing mirroring here. I am seeing mirroring, and I am seeing where you guys are feeling the same things, but you guys are at different places in your lives. So the journeys don't quite look the same. Like they're the same, but the factors at play make your journeys look different, if that makes sense. Okay? So, but I am seeing a twin flame journey here. If not twin flame, a very strong soul connection that could have been unraveling for quite some time. A lot of healing has had to happen as well. All right, with you in the past, you have been feeling very anxious about this. You have been feeling heartbroken. Something may have happened with a karmic partner in the past, right? Another soulmate partner. That left you feeling heartbroken, or this is the same person and you're heartbroken over the fact that maybe right now you can't have this 10 of cups with them, which is normal. All right, Aquarius, it's completely normal to not be happy with where you are, but you are aware of the facts. Okay, so you have to make use of those facts because they're not changing. They're not changing until all the other, until this other person, right? The person that all of these facts are pertaining to, those facts don't change unless they change. And it doesn't look like they're changing. They're working very, very hard, very steadily on their foundation, on their stability. They're very caught up. Okay, but listen, coming in, you've got the Six of Wands. All right, with the Ace of Wands. That's beautiful. A brand new beginning, ambition, Six of Swords, moving forward, Ace of Swords. So you've got a ton of clarity, a lot of smooth transitions moving forward. With the Ace of Wands, you have passion, reignited ambitions, creativity. Not even creativity, but because water is creative, but creation is wands, right? Creation is the actual, it's not the mental, the dreamy creativity aspect. It's the actual, like, the burning in your belly, the desire now to actually bring into fruition that which you are dreaming of, right? So with two aces here, I mean, I feel like with the Ace of Swords, right, open communication, clarity, above all, a lot of clarity. This victory is going to be felt once you have realized that the surest way to a smooth transition is by focusing your mind less, because you have the Ace of Swords also in your mind, right? This is what you're thinking of. If you focus on yourself a little bit more, because remember let me put this down for a second. With the Six of Wands, you also have a spotlight, right? So you've got the attention here, but it doesn't have to be you. It could be subject matters that are coming into the spotlight. So if you spend a little bit less time focusing on the in and out connection and more time on, right, putting the spotlight here on the smooth transition out, on the fact that you have this brand new beginning, you're creating so much. You know how you want to create this. Perhaps you're going to change the style of your communication. Instead of talking to this person about, instead of trying to always be talking with them about something every day, maybe you talk to them just as infrequently as they talk to you. And when you guys do talk, it's less about, oh, well, what are you doing? What are you up to? And more about, hey, you want to hear about my business plan? You want to hear about, what I'm doing to increase my stability. Like, as someone who is stable yourself, I actually wanted to pick your brain a little bit about how you got to where you are, or how comfortable you feel, or what kind of lifestyle changes you made to be where you are. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of you flip it so that the connection is less about trying to charge into his energy or her energy space, and you bring it back, or you bring it back full circle and say, you know what, I really enjoy who you are and I appreciate who you are, and I actually want to learn a little bit about how you got to be who you are, because I'm kind of on my own thing too, and I admire you. I admire, the friendship we have. So give me some pointers, because I'm onto something new. I'm onto something new, and I'm moving forward, and this is a source of relief from the stresses of my life. And I didn't call out the overarching energy for the clarifiers. I apologize for that. It's the Seven of Pentacles, okay? So it generally does mean like having a sense of failure, because the person is waiting a long time, to the point where their impatience is making them want to scrap everything altogether. So drawing all of the clarifiers so far back to the overarching energy, it could be possible that all of this healing and all of this in and out connection and all of this desire for things to be better, you're just like questioning whether the investment was worth making. And I would say no, first of all. Any time you invest in a situation where you've learned something from it is never a waste, as long as you have learned, okay? Even then, even if you have to repeat the same lessons over and over again, it's not a waste. You just have to learn the lesson, right? You just have to get past it eventually. But in this particular situation, guys, whether this is romantic or otherwise, right? This is someone that you highly respect, someone who you wish communication with was a little bit steadier, a little bit, maybe even more frequent, and less, less up and down, less in and out, right? You definitely have a soft spot in your heart for them. You're healing through this connection. It could be also for some of you where this is business, if this is career, finance. You have in your heart space, you want to work very closely with someone who is a Sagittarius or embodies that energy, right? Someone who's very fun, lighthearted, childlike, super quick on their feet, great talker, just not a Gemini talker, right? But someone who is just very impassioned, and they follow their passions, and they love to laugh, so you have a soft spot in your heart here for someone who, if this is a Sagittarius you're dealing with, they are this King of Pentacles. And you want a very strong connection with them because of something they bring to the table that has been the cornerstone of their stability. You have immense respect for them, but there's something here that's lacking in the connection. And in the recent past, before you were able to really get in touch with this person and build some type of connection with them, you were feeling really anxious. Maybe your past partner, your past business partner, maybe they betrayed you. Three of Swords, remember, maybe they betrayed you. There was a big decision that had to be made. You're still kind of going through the vibrations there, and it's kind of what's kept you blocked in this connection with this other person. But what's going to alleviate a lot of this pressure from you is this pressure that you're putting on yourself, okay? Eight of Swords, again, this pressure that you're putting on yourself to have this connection look a certain way. Your expectations don't have to be so high, Aquarius. They really don't. They really don't, okay? The truth is, this person is on a one-track, they're on a one-track path down to their outcome, where they want to go. They've got the blinders up, and they are really just trying to wrap things up in this goal that they're about to achieve. And the best way for you to get through this situation, which, to be completely honest, this situation does not exist. It exists in your mind. Okay, this person does feel a connection as well. Okay, this person definitely has an appreciation for your connection as well. So it's not like they don't. It's just right now they can't express that to you. And in a way, you might be looking at their lack of expression and saying, well, what's the point then? They don't care. They don't care. It's not that they don't care. It's that this is one of those situations, Aquarius, where you have to look at the person and say, do I love them for who they are? Do I appreciate them for who they are? Do I accept them for who they are? And if the answer is yes, then why is them being who they are bother me so much? Because it shouldn't. Unconditional love does not speak through ego. It doesn't. Unconditional love says, I want you to be happy. What makes you happy? Working? Great. That makes me happy. That's unconditional love. You don't require them to change in order to be with you. It's nice to want to be with someone, or it's nice to want to have a partnership and a connection with somebody. It's so nice to want that, but at the same time, for it to be love and not infatuation or obsession or codependency, there has to be a certain level of understanding that whatever makes them happy is what you need to be on board with. And if that doesn't include you, then you have to be happy for that too. Okay? It's hard. It's not true unconditional love is not easy. Okay? But this person is definitely who they are. And if you want them to change, then I don't really think you are in love with them, or you really appreciate them for what they bring to the table. I think you're looking at a potential if you were able to manipulate things enough. And that's not right. You know, that's not the right idea to have. None of us have control like that over another person. We just don't. We can influence people, but we cannot control them by any means. Okay? So, but focus on yourself. Okay? Focus on yourself. Focus on these new insights that you're going to be getting, these new ambitions that you're going to be getting. That's going to be your easiest, smoothest transition away from this focus here on this person kind of like being the bad guy is what I'm feeling. But it's not, you know, they're really not. They're just focused on themselves. Change your focus, Aquarius. Change your focus, and I think you'll notice that that's going to bring you a lot of relief. You see yourself as judgment. Okay, that judgment card came out twice. Once as the overarching energy too. So you see yourself as kind of about to blow the horn on something, right? Make a big judgment call. Big judgment call to release these burdens. Yeah, so you're thinking about bringing this to an end. That could be what you've been stressing about. In the environment, you've got the Hierophant with the moon. So there's a lot of confusion. See, the thing is with the Hierophant, it can represent a long-term commitment or like a business, right? An institution of marriage, institution of, you know, church. So like spirituality, you know, with the two people that tend to be bowing in front of the Hierophant, right? You have this admiration, this very deep spiritual connection. The moon speaks to intuition. So it could be, Aquarius, that you're at an all-time high in your intuition, first of all. Excuse me, you could also be dealing with a Taurus, you could be dealing with a Pisces, Cancer. But overall, there's a sense of having a long-term commitment somewhere in the environment that is being blurred over. You know, with the moon, you've got confusion. It's like a fog. You know, there's so much of a mist around that you can't really make out the elements of this commitment. Almost like the commitment doesn't even exist. Right? The thing is, there's no doubt here that this is a very strong connection. And again, this doesn't have to be romance. I know I keep saying that, but I need to reiterate because sometimes I do get a little bit too caught up in one theme more than the other. But if this is a connection with a person, romantic or otherwise, it's a very strong connection. But I do see here that someone is extremely unsure. If you have Taurus in your chart, Aquarius, if you have Taurus in your chart, you are just feeling so incredibly confused, especially if Taurus is your moon or your Venus. You're not sure what you want, and you know you're confused. And I feel like you know that you shouldn't be focusing so much on this. You know that right now, more important than anything isn't what they're bringing to the table, it's what you're bringing to the table. Like, you already know that they're bringing a lot to the table. Now it's time for you to step up. If you're a Pisces or a Cancer, you have Pisces or Cancer strong in your chart, Aquarius, you're not really confused. Your intuition is at an all-time high, but you understand that there's a call to action in this situation, and it could be that you're the one that needs to commit. Because this other person, this earth sign or whoever this is, it could be a Taurus, right? But this person could be a Sag, it could be a Leo. This person their connection has been in and out with you, and it could be that they, in the past, were feeling very anxious about the connection because you have been very non-committal. And while you are feeling feeling like you want to drop the wands, you want to drop the burdens, if you guys are twin flames, okay, in the basic understanding of twin flame energies, you guys are essentially the same essence. the same spirit essence. So the energies here can be completely reversible, and this reading may not even be for you, Aquarius. This could literally be what they're feeling about you, and this is you showing up in the environment as someone who doesn't want to commit. Okay? And they're the ones now having to distract themselves from trying to keep in contact with you, because maybe your communication on your end has been very fickle in and out with them, and they've been trying to create stability with you, and you haven't really been up for it because you're confused. Right? It could be that you're confused, or maybe you're not confused. You know what you want, and you just don't know what commitment looks like. You're scared to commit. What if you make the wrong decision? Someone here is in the Eight of Swords energy. Someone is feeling very limited. They've withdrawn themselves. Okay? The fear here is, this is what's going to get the best of the connection. That by being self-limited, by imprisoning one's self in their doubts, they are going to essentially withdraw so much that the other person will withdraw from them. You could be dealing with a Virgo as well. A lot of earth energy. A lot of earth energy. Okay? Right? So it could be that, let's put it this way, Aquarius. Either you haven't been very committal, or this person hasn't been very committal. There's a need here for commitment, but someone's very in and out about it. They're really not sure. With the moon, it's cyclic. Again, that in and out Knight of Wands, very, sometimes it is and then sometimes it isn't. That same energy. The moon changes in cycles, right? Every day it's a slightly different moon, and it works through this cycle. So it's up and down. This, one day you guys are committed, the next you're not. One day this person is on board with the project you declared, and then the next day they're not. One day they have a great idea and they agree with everything you're saying, the next day they're not. They're completely against it. There's something about this connection that is just too up and down and inconsistent. And the fear here, whether it's yours or theirs, right? Whether it's yours or theirs, it's that someone here will eventually withdraw from the connection altogether. There's a strong bond here, and I see it. I feel it. It's, you guys are very connected on a spiritual, very deep heart connection type of level. But it's, someone here isn't putting in what they're supposed to, and the other person, whoever is putting in their half, or the person who has been putting in a little bit more than the other one, that's the person that is considering, like, you know what, maybe I should just withdraw. And that might be the better opinion. If that's not the case, all right, if that's not the case, it could be that you are afraid that if you start focusing more on yourself, Aquarius, you're afraid that they're going to withdraw from you. And if that is the case, with the Eight of Swords being here in the fear position, and me not really seeing any confirmation for that anywhere else, because they do have love for you, they do feel this connection too, I would say that that's not confirmation that your fear is justified here, right? Because they're already kind of withdrawn, and it's not because they don't care about you, it's because they're just busy. So if you stopped, trying to reach out as often as you do so that you could focus on yourself, the absence of communication isn't that they don't care about you, it's that you have stopped trying, because you tend to try to create the communication more, to make it more frequent than they do. And it's just going to feel kind of foreign because you're so used to picking up the phone call and prioritizing them, that prioritizing yourself is going to be like, uh-oh, there's a lot more quiet time. Why is that? It's not like they were calling you. As I'm using the phone calls as an example. But, it's not like they were reaching out to you all those times. You were reaching out to them. And now that you are no longer doing that and you're focusing on yourself, you might kind of forget that all of that time that you spent talking to them or texting them was because you were trying to push a connection that they weren't fully reciprocating right now. Okay, so it's all in your head. It's all in your head. They're not reaching out to me anymore. They weren't, though, because they're really tied up in what they're doing. So that was all you. It's imagined. Though their withdrawal from the connection would actually be very imagined, because I'm seeing here that they actually care quite a lot about you. Again, Two of Cups is reciprocating energy. That's a reciprocative partnership. Okay? They feel for you what you feel for them. They share that connection. Doesn't have to be romantic or otherwise. This person could just be someone who's on the same page as you, creatively, and in terms of the business, and in terms of money, like they just are on the same page with you, even though sometimes One person might be busier with certain projects than the other, right? They definitely want, okay? They desire, they feel a very, very strong creative energy that you guys both share, even though the communication could be pretty like in and out, right? The communication of ideas, the communication of business plans, or the communication of advertising and marketing and all of the different aspects of your business, product, creation, the way you guys communicate about it are completely different styles. But in terms of creative genius, you guys share the same vision. That has, however, kind of given someone here the idea that commitment is not on the table, though. Someone's not fully involved, someone's not fully engaged. And so if that's you, you are thinking about dropping something in the connection. It could be the connection itself, because you have judgment here twice, which is major arcana. So that's a big decision. It could literally be talking about ending the connection overall, just so that way you can not grapple so much with this idea of them not being completely involved and completely committed. Okay? With the outcome, you've got the Six of Pentacles. So it's give and take. It's trying to reestablish the scales. But the thing is, you have to understand with the Six of Pentacles, you've got someone here who is giving and the other people who are asking. So I think there's just a fundamental, there's an unequal distribution of power right now in the relationship. Not on purpose, but I think you, Aquarius, might be giving this other person a little bit too much credit, and you're seeing limitations where there really aren't any. I think right now it's just a matter of accepting the facts as they are. Okay, King of Swords, yeah, accepting the facts as they are. Four of Wands. Two of Wands, needing to make a decision. Beneath the Seven of Pentacles was the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Pentacles again. Yeah, so Wheel of Fortune, just to bring notice to this, with the Six of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune right in the middle, and then the Seven of Pentacles, we do have progress here. And the awesome thing about the Wheel of Fortune being in the middle is that the Wheel of Fortune tends to be very fast, like lightning speed, very, very quick movement. And here we're getting a direct relationship between the Six of Pentacles, of there being an uneven distribution, to finally we're getting to a point where things are growing, things are being worked on. Okay, so stability can definitely be achieved, but with the Two of Wands here, a choice really does have to be made, and it may need to be made by the other person. Now, if you're dealing with an air sign, okay, if you're dealing with an air sign, this could be the person that needs to make the decision, because you are Aquarius, and we do have Aquarius appearing here in your reading. So you could be dealing with another Aquarius, and with the Wheel of Fortune here, definitely very strong Aquarius. You could be dealing with another Aquarius, and if that's the case, that Aquarius needs to make, or that air sign needs to make a decision about what stability is going to look like for them. Because what we have here with the King of Swords moves onward in justice and certainty, right? He pursues his passions, but he's not ruled by them. None of the kings and none of the queens are devoid of all other elements that make up the other kings and queens, right? The King of Swords has feelings, he has passions, he has the ability to create a plan and have patience to see them through. But the King of Swords' forte is the facts, and to be led in the way justice is led, right? In what's fair, in what makes sense. So what rules his actions are on things that he can logically justify with the facts in front of him. So this person, this air sign, in order to reestablish the scales here with the Six of Pentacles and make this give and take feel more evened out, okay? Because it doesn't matter what you feel if in practice it's not being reflected. So in order for this to be reestablished, this person has to make a decision here about what needs to be done in order to achieve this stability. With the Four of Wands, you have a very strong foundation that was recently built, something becoming exclusive. Two, for you, if this is romance, right, this could be going on a couple dates to being like, this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend. Or you've been dating for a while, and then you guys get engaged, they propose to you. And it's like, it's been a million years and you guys have been dating, and someone here was just like, you know what, I just can't take it, because the truth is my heart's been broken in the past. Knight of Swords energy. not really sure that I can trust them. Things have really, on top of that, like every time I try to bring up long-term situations and long-term commitments, they just kind of give me the runaround, and I don't think they want what I want, So someone here needs to make a decision on what the Four of Wands means for them. What does creating a new stable beginning mean for this air sign? Does it mean doing better at work? Does it mean improving the connection? If whatever the answer is, they need to pursue that Four of Wands in the way the King of Swords does. So if you choose to make the relationship stronger, what that means is you need to prioritize your work a little bit less and prioritize the connection a little bit more. Because you could be married to your work, but I'm seeing here someone here is not okay with that. Someone here could be you, most likely you. You're dealing with someone who is known for their stability, and in order to get that stability, their lifestyle has to look a certain way. Like, let's be honest, right? There are some people who really just love being involved in their work. Some people create things that, they invest, and those things are passively just kind of working in the background for them. But other people truly enjoy, not just those things. They enjoy the fruits of their labor. They like being in the trenches. They like being on the front lines, being the leader, being the delegator, doing face-to-face meetings with people. There are people where that's where they get their life. That's where they get their passion, their happiness. But again, if that's where your love lies, that's beautiful too. But if it's not, and you're saying that the Four of Wands means for you engagement, or it means marriage, or it means kids, then guess what? Your actions need to reflect those things. This could be you, Aquarius. Okay, the King of Swords, this is air, this is you. In order to reestablish balance, you also need to decide what this looks like. And if this other person is not investing in the way you want, then you need to invest in yourself and move forward with or without them. But there's a need here to prioritize yourself, no matter what this other person is doing. But someone needs to make a decision and move forward in confidence, knowing that to have true balance, you need to back up what you want and what you're saying with actual work. Progress needs to be made, and it won't be easy, but you can't say that you want this and then work towards that. You can't say, I love that person, and then at the same time be like, but I wish they were different. You can't really say that. You really can't. Like, you could, but that would make sense. You cannot in good faith say that. Same thing, that person, or you, if this is you who's working a lot or focusing a lot more on stability. If for them they say, well, working is my life. Working is my life, and I love you. I'd like to have something with you. They can't honestly say that and then not invest any time into the connection. Okay? But regardless of the details, all right? Regardless of the details, those are the details that's been resonating for me, just, blaring at me. But for outside of the details, okay, what I'm seeing overall is that there's a very strong connection. There's a very strong connection between you and another person, a very strong connection between you and other people, but there's something here about connection that's lacking. The feeling of this being such a huge burden, that's a burden you were thinking about putting down, there's no doubt here. There's no doubt that not only do you feel that way, but that actually has to be done in order to achieve actual strong stability in your life. A foundation is currently being worked on, but in order for it to be the final product you want to see, Aquarius, a decision has to be made. A decision needs to be made, and it needs to be enforced with actual work. You have to actually work towards creating this stability, and that might mean no longer waiting for someone to put in their half, right? Because there's a lot of confusion here regarding commitment. And there's a lot of confusion regarding commitment, or at the very least, it could be that your intuition is just kind of down, right? Like error 404, like your intuition is just, it crashed and it's down right now. Normally you're very intuitive and you can typically be right on target, but you're just feeling a little bit like, I'm not sure I can read the situation very well right now because my desires are really overwhelming. And even though my intuition has been telling me maybe, you know, you need to approach this a different way. At the same time, you're like very eager to have this 10 of Cups. You're very eager to have this 10 of Cups. And here's the thing, guys. It's not even to say that the 10 of Cups can't be yours with this person. But whatever's happening right now it's not a bad thing, but it can't be forced. The Wheel of Fortune also speaks to divine timing. All right. So while things are slowly progressing from the 6 of Pentacles to the 7 of Pentacles, it's progressing at a rate that is appropriate given where you guys are on your own respective journeys. Okay? So this could be a very heartbreaking situation for you, but it is supposed to be this way. So if that is a question you have had, whether or not this is as fast as it's going to go, take this as confirmation. Yes, for now, this is as fast as it's going to go. Things could change very much from being unevenly distributed in terms of feeling like who has the advantage in the connection to feeling like you guys are finally working on something or towards something together in partnership, in union. That could happen very quickly. Like that jump could happen very quickly, but it's all contingent on someone here making a decision. If that doesn't happen, then you guys will essentially be sitting stagnant for a little while. Wheel of Fortune being here gives me, you know, it gives me confirmation that there is going to be a window open where communication can be had regarding the important aspects of this situation for you guys. But if, like, for example, if that conversation comes up and you don't say anything, or that person doesn't say anything, and essentially nothing is achieved, then nothing was achieved, and the changes that were supposed to be made that could have escalated things and progressed them and pushed them forward, that opportunity has been lost for now until the next opportunity, right? Opportunity is never really lost. It just, there are delays at that point. Okay, so there could be an opportunity here to progress things, but it really all depends, again, on how quickly you guys are able to recuperate from that feeling of needing things to be your way and being like, oh, you know what, let me just handle this. Let me just have this discussion with him or her. And, you know, we just need to get this taken care of. Right? So, but yeah, focusing on yourself is extremely important. Take the focus off of whoever this person is or whatever the nature of this connection is for you. Take the focus off because there's a reason it's in and out. Your fear here is that this person will withdraw the moment you start focusing on yourself. And the confirmation here, the message here is that that's all in your head, and that's not really what it is. They feel the connection just as strongly as you do. And a decision definitely does have to be made in terms of commitment. But in terms of them just disappearing off the face of the earth and never thinking about you again, that's not going to happen. They're just going to get more involved in their work. And so will you. And you guys are still going to be around, and you guys still care about each other very much. If it's business, you guys share the same vision, but, you know, if you guys don't have discussions and you start working more on yourself and on what your projects look like, they're not on a different creative wavelength as you, where you guys don't share the same vision for the company or for the partnership anymore. It's not that they don't have the same vision. It's just your guys' interaction styles, your communication styles are just completely different. And so it's very easy to misinterpret if you don't understand that you guys just communicate differently. This person, though, sees what you see. They just go about their business, their own individualized projects a little bit differently than you do. So right now, just focus on what you need to do and your projects. A decision has to be made in terms of commitment, right? Perhaps a big project. Something about the business is a little bit unknown. And so a decision here needs to be made in order to clarify everything, in order to get it to the next level. Someone here does need to make a decision. King of Swords can be a lawyer. Okay, so you guys could be dealing with some type of legal issues regarding the company or regarding the business. Paperwork that needs to be filled out. A very important decision needs to be made. Make sure you don't get shortchanged in it, because the Six of Pentacles can be someone trying to kind of take, you know, do a what you kind of like, what's the word? Trying to breadcrumb you, essentially, right? With the Six of Pentacles, you got one person who's just giving and the other person that are like, please give me something. Even though this person has a bunch of pentacles, they're going to give just like little pieces, little scrap metals of the pentacle, right? So make sure that whoever is involved, make sure that it's an even give and take. Read the fine print. Make a decision. Make sure that no one here is getting shortchanged, okay? Because this decision is, with Judgment being here twice, is a very significant decision, and it's going to affect fulfillment. It's going to affect fulfillment within this business partnership. And panning back over to love and romance, all right, that goes for you guys as well, with the law and legal matters. A big decision could be made. Again, I was thinking engagement, because that, when you get engaged and you get married, that is a legal documentation as well. Could be kind of like prenuptial agreements. Make sure that no one is getting shortchanged. All right. But at the same time, all right, this could be divorce as well. Make sure that you're getting, you read the fine print. Make sure no one is trying to get more than is fair in the settlement. All right. Because this could involve a home with the Four of Wands. Either way, there's definitely very strong indication here that everything will turn out just fine. But it's all contingent on making the right choice here and making sure that you are making the choice with you in mind. Don't worry about this other person. Don't worry about this other person. Worry about your station here, right? Your own projects, your own well-being. This person's doing just fine and they care a lot about you. Just make sure that whatever this situation is that is causing, it's kind of the source of imbalance right now, make sure that you're taking care of that, because once you take care of that, everything else kind of falls away. Everything else kind of falls away. There's going to be progress, forward movement, but this decision has to be made, and it can't be made to make someone else happy. It has to be made with your goals in mind, with the facts that you know are right in front of you. Okay? So you've got 2 Ace of Swords here, and you're coming up, right, as the King of Swords. So you've got a lot of good indications here. It's just a matter of making the right decision for yourself. This person's on board. Don't worry about them. They're on board. They're stable. They're doing their thing. They're happy. They're doing their thing. All right. So for those of you that were looking for involvement with other people, that's about all I have for you right now. I'm going to go in really quick to a quick interpretation for those of you who are looking for self-love. All right, self-love on an individual level. This will be quick though, because those messages are more or less the same. So Aquarius, essentially you're in healing mode. Okay, you're in healing mode, but your thoughts are eating you alive. Your thoughts are eating you alive. Okay, with the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Wands, okay, you see the facts, but they come and go. It's kind of like through one ear and out the other, right? You see the facts, but it's like reality can be kind of a bitch right now. Like you're looking at what it's going to take for you to come into your power, and you're just like, I don't know if I can do that, right? With the Star and the Nine of Swords, maybe something in the past had you feeling really doubtful, had something broke your heart and made you feel like, just to get back to a place that feels normal is going to be really, really hard. So because of that, you're blocking communication with people. You're blocking communication with friends, with family, even from your environment, right? Like, so there are facts trying to come in. People, you're getting clarity from outside influences, and you're still not. It's like you're protecting yourself. Like you're trying to protect yourself from the harshness of reality. But what I encourage you to do, Aquarius, is to take inventory of these unfortunate and difficult truths and just write them down and let them steep. Okay, our brains are extremely resilient. Okay, in psychology they use the word plastic. Our brains are plastic. Okay, so just like a muscle, they evolve with the use that we put them to. So even though today, for example, today we read 10 pages in 30 minutes, with time, our brains being plastic the way they are, everything, our brain eventually, I forget the terminology, but eventually what happens is certain neurons connect in different pathways, right? So now where maybe you had only X number of pathways, now you have X plus a million pathways now, because you've exercised your brain and plasticity is being utilized. So now you go from reading 10 pages in 30 minutes to 10 pages in 10 minutes, because you're using your brain as the muscle that it is. And so the more exposure you put your brain to with stress in your environment, just like anything, it meets resistance, and yeah, it is uncomfortable, but eventually it grows to adapt. Okay, so facing the facts right now might be a bitch, but you have to do it, and you don't have to do anything about it right now, but you need to listen to it. Listen to the facts and give your brain the opportunity to process the information. You might have nightmares, you might have dreams, you might wake up in the middle of the night, just like you have been with the Nine of Swords. You might be having sleepless nights because the truth is just too much to handle. And that's okay, because what's coming for you is victory. What's coming for you is this aha moment. All the facts come together and deliver you this understanding of your environment and this understanding of what drives you into the future. It's what's going to drive you onward and away from this feeling that stability is so impossible, and gives you the courage to pursue it wholeheartedly, because you see yourself as this burden being too much to take. So there's no question here. You know, this isn't a state you can maintain forever. You understand this. And the thing is you might have even been questioning whether this was a spiritual awakening or not. This may or may not have been a spiritual awakening. I'm seeing confirmation here that yes, it is spiritual awakening. You've got 2 judgments, 2 Ace of Swords with the Star, with Temperance, with the Wheel of Fortune, 2 of Cups twice. Okay, 2 of Cups being the relationship that you share with your own subconscious, with your own mind, right? Your consciousness and your subconscious being married to each other in stability here. Hermit being, going within. All right, so there's a lot of clarity and many angels, okay, guardian angels, but angels nonetheless, that are trying to guide you through these shadow times. So if you are feeling a little bit strangely, okay, and you've been medically checked out, this could be kind of like ascension symptoms. Okay, so you could be awakening for sure, and perhaps that was something you were suspecting. If that is the case and that's how you feel, right? I would say that's confirmation as well. Always check with a doctor if you feel like something physically, may not be 100%, okay? There's no substitute for that. You should always go and check that out to be 100% sure. But absolutely, I see confirmation here of there being some type of spiritual awakening and growth. Lots of transformation. But it's leaving you in this brain fog where your receptivity to the facts in your environment is just so overwhelming, like your sensitivity is so high that it's almost like you want to withdraw from the environment. But this is your fear, okay? Your fear is that your withdrawal, here is going to be your downfall, right? That your withdrawal here is a limitation of yours. I don't see that is the case for you. I feel like withdrawing from your environment to meditate, okay? Because the Hermit doesn't just withdraw. The Hermit goes within. The Hermit goes within to find truth. Okay, your fear here might be that you are your own prison, which you can be, and you are absolutely if you deny growth outside of your confines, right? If you have these self-limiting beliefs and you lead your life blocking opportunity because you believe you can't overcome these so-called limitations, then you are imprisoning yourself. But the Hermit is not imprisoning themselves. They are just trying to find their way. Okay, they're just trying to go within and find the answers inside. So the fear here is that withdrawing from the situation may not be helping. Withdrawing from the situation and from these stimuli are not helping, but it can help if you take that time to meditate on what it is about these things that are so stressful and start engaging with the material, start engaging with the facts, with the information that makes you feel so terrible. Start grappling with it and start asking yourself some tough questions about why it's making you feel so bad so that you know how you can move past them, if that makes sense, okay? But overall, with the Six of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Two of Wands, you have to make a decision here. You're going to have to move forward in truth and realize that there's nothing about these facts that are innately harmful. It's just a matter of how do you proceed. How do you choose to proceed? Something here has been made very difficult for you. There's no doubt here. And stability is right here on your doorstep. Okay? But it's all contingent on you making this very big decision to stand in your power as the King of Swords. You have to reestablish balance. Someone in your life or some things in your life are not balanced. This could be the way you treat yourself versus how you treat others. Maybe you treat others better than you treat yourself. You have to rebalance the scales and stop giving so much to others while you have almost nothing. And then when people try to help you, you don't accept their help. Don't do that to yourself. progress can be made. You've got the Six of Pentacles with the Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Pentacles, okay? So there's definite progress coming, right? But it's only an opportunity that's going to present itself. You have to actually seize the opportunity. So this might come in the form of someone testing your boundary. And this is your opportunity now to stand your ground, put your foot down and say, no, this is my boundary. I drew the line in the freaking sand. Like, what part of no do you not understand? You get what I'm saying? Like, there might be a point where there's going to be an opportunity for you to stand in your power. And it's going to challenge you, and it's going to make you feel like, why am I getting all of this, why am I the source of all of this abrasion? Why is there so much conflict in my environment right now? Because this is a test, Aquarius. Now is the time. Now is the time for you to know who you are and make decisions based on who you aspire to be. This is where you're at, and it's not going to be easy, but if you know who you are, even though it's going to be scary, you'll be able to pursue with courage. And that's going to be your challenge. You can do it, but you can't be afraid of the facts. These things are just the way they are. What are you going to do about them? Who are you, and how do you make sure other people know who you are? How will people know what to respect about you? What will people be able to say about you by knowing you? Okay, you have to enforce your boundaries and respect others, but you have to demand, you have to expect that same respect in return. You can't allow other people to walk over you. Stand your ground, put your foot down, and defend the person you can be and who you are working towards becoming. And don't allow anyone in your environment to make you feel less than. There's a commitment to yourself that's coming in that you have to make, and the opportunity will come. It's going to come in the form of decisions, though, so be prepared. Take inventory of the facts and do what you need to do and reflect as long as you need to make sure you get your facts for yourself and who you are straight. Fulfillment is here. Fulfillment is here for you, and fulfillment is here whether you're in a connection with another person or just trying to refoster that connection within yourself, okay? Fulfillment is here, but you have to make a decision. And it is not going to be easy, but it's going to be necessary, and it's going to be worth it. Okay? All right, Aquarius. I love you guys so very much. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you stuck with me till the very end, I love you. I love you. Because I know I'm over an hour now, I think. Oh, yeah. I'm over an hour. Wow. Yeah. So if you stuck with me to the end, I love you. And I am so happy that you feel like I was able to tap into your energy, because I know I was connecting with someone out there. The messages were coming in too strongly and too clearly. You guys are my longest message this month. Okay, so I love you very much. I am so appreciative to you for being here with me. Thank you so much for honoring me, giving my work meaning. So I just want you to know I'm so grateful to you. Thank you. I'm so happy to serve. And I hope that these messages, I really hope that they served you. I really hope that they serve you this month. And just if this did resonate, please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment down below. I would love to know where you are in your journey, okay? I'm going to let you go, but just know that I love you so very much from the bottom of my heart. I'm sending you just so many hugs, so much love, and I'm going to check you out next time, okay, Aquarius? I love you. Have a great month, and I'll see you later.